What if I told you that the body you inhabit, that intricate temple of flesh and bone, is nothing more than the material echo, the tangible manifestation of the words you whisper to yourself, the thoughts that inhabit you, and the vibrations you emanate at every moment of your existence? Could you even conceive that every heartbeat, every muscle fiber, every microscopic cell is in constant obedience to a silent decree, a command issued from the depths of your being? For countless solar cycles, these truths have remained veiled. Guarded by the cloak of forgetfulness and skepticism, whispers of a prescribed wisdom that today, finally, dare to pierce the veil of the conventional, emerging from the shadows of forbidden knowledge. We will delve into the mysteries of an ancient grimoire, a compendium of arcane revelations attributed to the mystical figure of Paracelsus, whose echoes resonate with an authority that defies time and worldly logic. Prepare yourself, O seeker of truth, for an initiatory journey that will not only unlock the arcane secrets of biology and physics, but will redefine your understanding of life itself, the genesis of disease, the limitless potential for healing, and the creative power that lies dormant within you. This is not a mere invitation to listen. It is a rite of passage, an inner alchemy destined to transmute the fragmented perception of your being into a unified and powerfully conscious vision. The knowledge unraveled here is not trivial. It is a beacon to the mastery of your own existence, the master key to unlocking the doors of healing and regeneration, a rare and transformative privilege that has waited millennia to be claimed. By immersing yourself in this wealth of understanding, you will not only learn to read your body's symptoms as the sacred language of your soul, but you will discover how to rewrite that language, restoring lost harmony and reclaiming the wholeness bestowed upon you since the dawn of your existence. Throughout this profound journey, we will reveal how our cells are much more than inert biological structures. They are diligent listeners, responding loyally to every thought, every emotion, every vibration emanating from our deepest being, shaping the reality of our physical state. We will explore blood, not only as a vital fluid, but as a conscious river, a vehicle of vibrational information that carries the decrees of our speech and emotion to every corner of our body, acting as the ethereal ink that writes our story of health or illness. We will confront the subtle poison of unexpressed emotions, understanding how anger, sadness, or fear crystallize into toxic chemicals, generating specific diseases in specific organs, and how the release and transmutation of these energies is a crucial step toward authentic healing. We will reveal the sacred geometry underlying each organ, perfect patterns that disease distorts and that consciousness can restore. We will understand the heart not only as a muscle, but as the central altar and the most powerful electromagnetic generator in our body, whose coherence radiates a healing energy capable of reshaping our reality. And we will delve into breathing, not as a mechanical act, but as the sacred bridge that unites spirit with matter, a fundamental anchor for vitality and power. If you feel the inescapable call of this ancient wisdom resonating in your soul, if your spirit yearns to transcend imposed limitations and reclaim your innate power of creation and healing, then I invite you to take the first and most crucial step. Like this audiobook, leave us a comment with your first impressions and reflections, and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any of the revelations to come. Together, we will walk the hidden paths of Paracelsus, unraveling the forbiddens. Grimoire that your own body has guarded for ages, waiting to be deciphered and lived out the human word, beyond mere superficial communication, is a vibratory decree, the primal force that sculpts matter from the ether itself. Our cells and organs are not mere passive receptacles. They are diligent listeners, a symphonic orchestra of trillions of particles dancing to the rhythm of the frequency we dictate. From the most veiled Hermetic manuscripts to the arcane teachings of the masters of Egypt, we have been whispered that in the beginning was the Word, a maxim that extends not only to the creation of the cosmos, but also to the constant microcreation of our own physiology. Every thought, every subliminal or verbalized emotion is an irrefutable order that the biological universe within us obeys without question, shaping our internal reality. It is the alchemy of language, where the word is transformed into flesh and tangible experience. How then does this intangible stream of thought become a physical imprint? The secret lies in the profound connection between the electromagnetic field of our consciousness and the intricate neural and energetic network of the body. Each thought generates a specific vibrational frequency, a wave that resonates through the central nervous system and translates into biochemical and bioelectrical cascades that activate or deactivate genes and alter cellular structure. It is a quantum resonance. The subconscious, that vast ocean where our most deeply rooted patterns and beliefs reside, acts as the great scribe, faithfully transcribing each decree. Prescribed texts from ancient Chaldea spoke of the language of the gods, pure thought capable of healing incurable ailments. Our body is the literal manifestation of this language, a living scroll. Illness, therefore, is not a divine punishment or a random mechanical failure, but the palpable manifestation of persistent negative language, a dissonant chorus of thoughts of fear, guilt, resentment, or self-criticism. When we allow internal criticism to become a daily litany, or toxic emotions to stagnate in the subsoil of our being, we are, in essence, decreeing a state of disharmony. An organ that becomes ill is an organ that has received a directive of scarcity or conflict, a low-frequency vibration that disrupts its optimal vibrational pattern and sacred geometry. Modern science is beginning to glimpse these truths through epigenetics, observing how the environment, influenced by our thoughts and beliefs, rewrites the genetic script. Healing, then, reveals itself as a conscious act of reprogramming, an exercise in inner alchemy, where the negative verb is transmuted by the purifying flame of positive and authoritative intention. It is not enough to desire healing. It is imperative to speak to the body with the conviction of a sovereign, dictating immutable laws to its kingdom. Affirmations become sacred mantras, not mere empty repetitions, but declarations charged with a high vibrational energy that resonate with the inherent perfection of ourselves. By visualizing wholeness and vitality, and by pronouncing decrees of health and well-being with unwavering faith, we are sending new instructions, rewriting the biological code. It is an act of co-creation with the divine intelligence that animates every strand of our DNA, the true magic of manifestation at the cellular level. But this mastery of the word, this ability to sculpt our biological reality with the power of thought, is only one facet of a much larger and more complex diamond. If the word is the tool of the inner architect, who really is the architect? And from where does the ultimate authority that empowers our decree emanate? Beyond the dichotomy of positive and negative lies a primordial source, a field of unified consciousness that orchestrates every vibration, every manifestation. Is it possible that, by aligning our word with this universal source, we are accessing a resonance that transcends our individuality, weaving healing into the collective tapestry of existence? There is an even deeper wisdom, a pre-verbal silence, from which all creation emerges, an echo that resonates in the deepest depths of being. What if this silence contained the true language of healing, a source code waiting to be deciphered? That primordial silence, the cosmic matrix from which all sounds and forms emerge, has a palpable echo within us. It is not ethereal, but a tangible current, a vital force that pulsates in the depths of our being. We speak of blood, that enigmatic red river that wings through the confines of our biological existence, not as a mere transporter of oxygen and nutrients, but as a conscious vehicle, an alchemical substance that carries the very spark of life and knowledge. It is in its incessant flow that the subtle vibrations of our consciousness are imprinted, where the code of our inner reality manifests in a biological symphony, sculpting our cellular destiny. Ancient traditions, from Egyptian mysteries and Hermetic revelations to Vedic tales that whisper of the vital essence, never viewed blood as a simple fluid. It was considered the breath of the soul, the seat of life force, and crucially, the liquid memory of the spirit. This internal river, beyond its biochemical composition, operates as a subtle neural network, a liquid consciousness that not only reacts to physical impulses, but also absorbs and translates the vibrational information we emit. Each heartbeat is a pulse of information, each blood vessel a data channel flowing with the primal intelligence of the universe, responding to the silent melodies of our psyche. When we speak a word, it is not just a sound. It is a vibration charged with intention, an energetic decree. When we experience an emotion, be it unconditional love, expansive gratitude, paralyzing fear, or corrosive resentment, we are releasing a specific energetic frequency. These invisible waves, far from dissipating into the ether, are intercepted and dissolved in the bloodstream. Blood acts like the ink of a cosmic scribe, and our words and emotions are the pigments mixed within it. This vital fluid not only transports them, but interprets and distributes them to each of the trillions of cells that make up our bodily temple, constantly rewriting the manuscript of our existence. Every cell in our body is a miniature library, a microcosm containing the totality of our being's genetic and energetic information. When bathed in this conscious ink, cells receive not only nutrients, but also the vibrational message of our deepest state of health. If the river of life is polluted with the stagnant waters of fear, doubt, and anger, if the ink is tinged with discordant patterns, the cells absorb that dissonance, manifesting as imbalance in tissue and function. Conversely, when the blood flows crystalline with the energy of joy, conviction, and healing, the cells are nourished with the elixir of vitality, promoting harmony and regeneration. The inner alchemy of our health is written, and in every drop of this eloquent flow, a living manifesto of our inner truth. Thus, blood reveals itself as the liquid mirror of our consciousness, a living map that reflects the truth of our inner being with unwavering precision. It is the canvas upon which our intentions, our words, and our emotions are captured in a tangible biological reality, a living code that our cells read and act upon. But if this conscious river is so susceptible to the tides of our inner world, what happens when external forces, seen and unseen, attempt to manipulate its flow or distort its message? How can we protect the purity of this vital ink from the discordant influences that seek to rewrite our history without our conscious consent, disrupting the very rhythm of the heart that connects us to the universe? If blood is the liquid mirror of our consciousness, what tarnishes it more persistently than the shadows of our undigested emotions? The ancients, in their codices, already discerned that every unprocessed emotion doesn't vanish. It condenses in the deep inner alchemy of our body. It becomes a specific emotional toxicity, a subtle but potent substance which the organism is forced to store. This somatization is the score the body plays when the soul refuses to vocalize its pain, fury, or terror. It is the vibratory resonance of a stifled scream that, rather than dissolving, seeks to crystallize within us, altering the vital frequency of each cell and disrupting its original programming. This crystallization is not fortuitous. Masters of Hermetic medicine and shamans of old devised a precise map of the soul and its physical influence. They knew that primal fear lodges in the kidneys and adrenal glands, draining essential vitality. Sadness seeks refuge in the lungs, hindering the breath of life, while anger scorches the liver and oppresses the heart, disrupting its sacred rhythm. Each organ is a sanctuary and also a prison where the body locks away the emotions that the psyche dares not release. This knowledge, encoded in texts such as the Huangdi Neijing, reveals that illness is a desperate call from the body to recognize and release this stagnant energy. A failed transmutation that demands attention and rebalancing, emotional repression, is not suppression, but a silent condemnation that the being imposes on itself. Over time, these chemicals accumulate, creating energetic blockages that impede the flow of life. Even more enigmatic, these crystallizations can carry ancestral echoes of unresolved suffering, the karmic legacy of past generations, patterns of fear or anger unreleased by our ancestors can resonate in our own biology, making us susceptible to certain ailments, as if we were unwitting custodians of a family secret demanding to be unearthed. This accumulation is a silent cry demanding purification, a path of redemption that frees us not only from our own poison, but also from the shadows that preceded us in the fabric of time. The path to healing, therefore, lies not in the denial of symptoms, but in the conscious release and transmutation of these energies. It requires a fearless look into the inner abyss, an honest acknowledgement of what has been stored away. It is an alchemical process where the lead of repressed emotion, laden with pain and darkness, must be brought to the crucible of consciousness. There, through full acceptance and authentic expression, transmutation begins. It is not about unleashing destructive fury, but about allowing that energy to move through the body, identifying itself and transforming into wisdom, compassion, and life force. This is the true work of inner alchemy, turning poison into medicine, suffering into understanding, and shadow into purifying light. Only by dismantling these emotional prisons we have built, only by allowing the stream of our consciousness to flow freely, purifying the sediments that cloud our inner mirror, can we perceive the true essence of our being. This purification is not an end, but the beginning of a profound transformation, an expansion of consciousness that connects us not only with our physical body, but with the vast universe of energies that surrounds us. By releasing the poison of repressed emotions, we not only heal our organs, but also open portals to higher dimensions of perception. But if our body and soul are a battleground for these internal energies, what other battles are being fought in the ethereal realms, invisible to our eyes, that also seek to influence our existence and the purity of our conscious blood, altering the very fabric of reality? The true battle, the essence of the fabric of reality, is fought not only in the ethereal realms, but in the most intimate and sacred sanctuary, our own body. This is not a mere aggregate of cells, but a biological temple, a microcosm where every organ, every tissue, every strand of DNA vibrates and organizes itself according to an underlying divine architecture. The ancient sages saw the body not as a machine, but as a symphony of cosmic patterns, a latticework of living fractals that replicate the harmony of the universe. The golden spiral, the perfect octagons, the Platonic forms, these are not mathematical abstractions, but the immanent light codes that structure our existence, the energetic matrices that shape our flesh and our consciousness. From Egyptian temples to Tibetan mandalas, from Vedic texts to Hermetic diagrams, sacred geometry has been the universal language of creation, the whisper of the cosmos embodied in the visible world. The builders of Stonehenge and Gothic cathedrals understood that these divine proportions resonated not only with the earth, but with the human body, seeking to reflect its inherent structural harmony. Certain esoteric writings, often veiled or even forbiddens for their transformative potential, reveal how ancient healers and shamans not only treated symptoms, but sought to realign the individual with these perfect templates, aware that the vibrational resonance of a healthy body mimics the perfection of the universe. When disease manifests, it is not simply a biochemical malfunction. It is a morphic imbalance, a distortion of these pristine geometric patterns. It is as if the perfect crystal of our essence loses its pristine lattice, or the cosmic melody of our existence becomes dissonant. Repressed emotions, subtle toxins, unresolved traumas act as corrosive forces that twist these sacred spirals, disfiguring the purity of our inner octagons. The heart, the liver, the kidneys each begins to vibrate outside its original divine frequency, losing its alignment with the divine coding that created it. Restoring health, then, transcends mere physical intervention. It becomes an act of inner alchemy, a conscious reconnection with the original archetype. Healing is a repatterning, a tuning of our biological temple with its divine template. This is achieved not just with herbs or a scalpel, but with pure intention, the visualization of geometric perfection within each organ and deep meditation on the cosmic patterns of life. It is through awareness that we can guide these energetic matrices back to their state of structural harmony, allowing the body to remember its inherent fractal perfection, its intrinsic connection to the source of all creation. To perceive the body as a tangible manifestation of sacred geometry is to recognize our inherent divinity, our unbreakable connection to the very fabric of the cosmos. We are living mandalas, breathing sacred patterns with every heartbeat. This understanding transforms illness from a calamity into a signal, a calling to return to our true form, to realign the microcosm with the macrocosm. But if our individual bodies resonate with these structures, what does this imply for the Earth herself, for the sacred sites and energy lines that run through her? Could these planetary energetic matrices also be misaligned? And if so, how do these distortions influence our own individual and collective sacred geometry? And what healing secrets await to be unlocked by understanding the intricate web of resonance between us and the planet? The heart, beyond its biological function, is the supreme altar of our being, the most powerful electromagnetic generator in the body, with a vibrational field 1,000 times greater than that of the brain. Ancient cultures, from Egyptians to the Vedas, recognized it as the seat of the soul, the center of love and compassion, a portal of cosmic resonance. Here, vital energy condenses and expands, modulating our interaction with the universe. This pulsating core is not a simple pump, but a sophisticated frequency transceiver whose coherence determines our existence and the healing energy we project. Cardiac coherence is the harmonious state where thoughts, emotions, and breathing synchronize, producing a uniform heartbeat pattern that radiates a toroidal field. This field, a tangible manifestation of our internal state, influences the environment. Living in contradiction to soul values, guided by fear and anger, causes the heart to emit chaotic patterns, creating electromagnetic interference. These disruptions disorganize cells and systems, disconnecting us from the cosmic healing energy network, and sowing disease. True inner alchemy lies in aligning our will with the values of the soul transcending the illusions of the ego. To live in contradiction is to renounce intrinsic truth for external approval, silencing the voice of the spirit. Ancient codices, such as the Gnostics, hinted that internal misalignment between the lower and higher selves was the root of suffering. This fracture manifests in the heart as an energetic anomaly, a dissonance that propagates and materializes in ailments. Recognizing this is the first step in transmuting discord into heart coherence, a conscious return to our divinity. Cardiac coherence is restored. The heart becomes a beacon of light. It radiates a healing energy that envelops us and extends to those around us, harmonizing their fields. It is the essence of compassion and unconditional love, not mere feelings, but vibrational forces that restructure reality. Master healers of old, in Sanskrit texts and Egyptian papyri, understood that healing lay not only in the physical, but in the projection of this coherent healing energy, raising the vibration of the sick person until their body remembered its original pattern of health. Thus, the heart is the portal to unified consciousness, the meeting point between the temporal and the eternal. Its coherence is the master key to unlocking the hidden chambers of our true nature, the compass that guides us back to the source of all wisdom. It reveals to us that every heartbeat is an act of creation, an opportunity to choose harmony over discord, love over fear. And if our own heart can generate such potent healing energy, capable of reconfiguring our individual reality, what implications does this have for the collective consciousness? Could humanity, in unison, tune their hearts into a global resonance? And how would this planetary symphony affect the veils of illusion? What mysteries await to be unveiled when the heart finally speaks with the voice of the soul? And what role does the mind play in this grand inner alchemy? And here, breathing arises not merely as a biological process, a fleeting exchange of gases, but as the very silver thread, the sacred vehicle that anchors the spirit, the immaterial soul, to the dense fabric of corporeal matter. It is the divine breath, the original breath that infuses form with life, a perpetual dance between the ethereal and the tangible. When our breathing becomes shallow, punctuated by the vicissitudes of life or the imprint of old traumas, this subtle veil is rent, and the soul is left disengaged, floating in a limbo of disconnection, unable to infuse wholeness and vitality into its physical temple. It is in this disarray that disease, disharmony, and lack of purpose find their fertile ground. The ancients, in their arcane codices and temples of silence, understood the immense significance of this primordial act. Vedic texts such as the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali and Egyptian Hermetic manuscripts conceived of breathing not as a mere bodily subsystem, but as the rudder that steers the ship of consciousness. Shallow breathing reflects a fragmented consciousness, a flight from the present that the body registers as abandonment. When the breath shortens, the connection to prana, the universal life energy, the cosmic force that pulsates in every atom, is severed. The soul loses its anchor, and the body becomes an automaton, lacking the divine spark that gives it purpose and resilience. Trauma is stored in the diaphragm and the lungs, creating energetic armor that impedes the free flow of the healing energy. Within, however, the key to reconnection lies in the rediscovery of conscious, deep breathing, an act of inner alchemy that rebuilds the bridge that was thought to be destroyed. By inhaling with intention, allowing the air to fill our entire lungs and expand to the diaphragm, we not only oxygenate the blood, we consciously attract prana, the essence of life, and anchor the soul back into the earthly experience. Each exhalation becomes a purification, releasing stagnant memories, emotional toxins, and low-frequency vibrational patterns that obstruct our path. This practice, far from being a simple exercise, is a sacred ritual that restores coherence between the body, mind, and spirit, infusing a powerful healing energy and renewed vitality. It is through this mastery of breath that we can access altered states of consciousness, transcending the limited perception of the physical senses. The pranayama practices of yogis, holotropic breathwork techniques, and the breath ceremonies of ancient shamans all point to the same principle. The breath is the portal, the catalyst that allows vital energy to flow unhindered, awakening dormant energy centers and unlocking the wisdom inherent in every cell. Thus, the breath becomes a means to transmute pain, integrate shadows, and expand inner light, activating the latent potential that the universe has bestowed upon us, opening the floodgates to a vaster consciousness. It is an act of profound self-healing and self-discovery. And as the breath becomes our beacon in the darkness, an unerring compass guiding us back to the source of our own essence, we begin to perceive the subtle dance of vibrations that make up reality. If the breath can reconfigure the anchoring of our own soul to the body, what other dimensions of existence might be revealed through the conscious manipulation of this vital energy? Could the breath be the key to peeling back the veils of illusion that separate us from universal truth, revealing the intricate web of resonance that binds everything together, and how this same resonance can be modulated not only by our heart, but by the frequency of our breath. If breath, the breath itself, is the subtle fabric that anchors our soul to the body and connects us to the primordial source, then speech, that divine gift molded by breath and consciousness, is the highest vibration we possess to sculpt our reality. These are not simple articulated sounds or coded symbols, but living energetic currents, frequencies that shape matter and direct the flow of vital energy. In the arcana of Hermetic wisdom and the Vedic texts, speech was not a mere tool of communication, but an act of creation, a manifestation of the divine Logos, who, according to the Gnostic Gospel of John, was with God, and through him all things were made. This is the seed of profound understanding. Every word we utter is a decree, an order imparted to the universe. Most of humanity expresses itself through what we call the sleeping word. These are the unconscious murmurs of the ego, habitual thought patterns that escape without true intention or conviction. It is the lament without purpose, the complaint without discernment, the I can't that repeats itself out of inertia, or the same thing always happens to me that perpetuates cycles of limitation. This word, although lacking a conscious, creative force, is not inert. It drags with it the shadows of the subconscious, subtly weaving the strands of a reality built on the absence of conscious will. It is a disordered vibration, an arrow launched randomly into the vast field of existence without direction or soul, incapable of true transmutation because its resonance is weak and diffuse. Next, we ascend to the awake word, a state where intention is combined with sound. Here, the speaker chooses their words deliberately, seeking a specific effect. These are positive affirmations, focused prayers, mantras recited with concentration, a conscious expression of a wish or truth. This word already possesses considerable power to reconfigure the personal energy field and immediate environment, acting as a catalyst for change and manifestation. It is a conscious attempt to harmonize one's vibrations with the desired reality, a powerful tool for directing life energy toward a clear purpose. Many alchemists and ancient healers used it in their rituals. Understanding that sound, when directed by will, can dissolve energetic knots and open new paths of possibility. However, it can still lack the fullness and depth that only a more intimate connection can confer. But true alchemy lies in the ignited word. This is the expression born not only of mind and intention, but of the unified soul and heart, resonating with the deepest truth of being. It is the word made flesh, the divine spark manifested in sound. When a word is ignited, each syllable vibrates with the force of absolute conviction, unconditional love, and ancient wisdom, infusing life energy into every letter, transforming it into a ray of pure creation. It is the word a spiritual master utters, the blessing that heals, the declaration that materializes. The forbidden texts of Hermeticism and mystical Kabbalah speak of how true tzaddikim and adepts could alter matter, regenerate tissue, and even defy the laws of physics with the simple utterance of a word infused with their essential being. This power of the ignited word is not distant mysticism, but a tangible truth. The physical body, an intricate symphony of cellular vibrations, is in a constant process of regeneration. The ignited word acts as a master directive, a dominant frequency that can reprogram these cells, aligning them with the original pattern of health and perfection. It is the resonance of the soul dictating the molecular symphony. Imagine that your cells are listening, that your DNA is responding to the frequency of your inner and outer voice. When your word is unified with the resonance of your soul, it can dissolve ailments, restore vital functions, and manifest the deepest vitality. It is true inner alchemy, the transformation of the lead of ailment into the gold of radiant health. And this ability goes beyond individual healing. If the ignited word can regenerate the body, what potential does it hold to weave collective reality, to restore the lost balance to the very fabric of the universe? Could this same vibration tune into the longings of millions? And how does that frequency manifest when we emit it not only with our voice, but with our entire existence? Thus, the ignited word transcends mere phonetics. It is the vibratory manifestation of our deepest essence, the echo of divine will resonating in the crucible of existence. It is the cosmic brush with which we paint our reality, the silent symphony that dictates the dance of the stars in our inner microcosm and in the vast macrocosm. To understand its power is to awaken the architect of worlds that slumbers in the heart of every being. To know oneself a co-creator of the universal fabric, where each syllable spoken with intention and truth becomes a brick in the construction of the unmanifest. This knowledge is not a mere theory, but a key that unlocks the shackles of limited perception, revealing that the universe is not a place we inhabit, but a word we speak. What if every word you utter, every thought you forge, is a silent spell, a mandate to the yet-to-be-born reality, capable of rewriting not only your destiny, but that of the collective fabric? If this truth has resonated in the sanctuary of your soul, if the spark of understanding has ignited a new path in your consciousness, I invite you to share this portal of wisdom. Allow more seekers of light to join this fellowship of awakened minds. Subscribe to our channel so that together we may continue to unveil the major arcana that shape our existence. Your presence strengthens the resonance of our collective quest. In our next foray into the veils of reality, we will unravel the 7 seals of awakening, how to harmonize your energy centers for full manifestation. A profound journey awaits you, where we will learn to tune the inner channels so that your ignited word vibrates with the force of the cosmos.